and the facts are much different than what has been portrayed.
Joining us now to discuss this further is the former vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, former New York State Assemblyman, former aide in the Obama administration, and CEO of the Atlas Group, Michael Blake. Thank you so much for joining us, Michael. Good to see you again.
Great to see you, Laverne. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you joining us. Well, let's talk about this difficult conversation. Cuomo's fall from grace. He was a member of President Clinton's cabinet. He was married to a Kennedy and at one point was considering a presidential run. Where does he go from here?
Well, first and foremost, Laverne, we commend the women that came forward. And we continue to say that when you indicate that you will believe women, believe women. As it relates to the investigation led by a phenomenal woman, Attorney General Tish James, who indicated more than 170 persons were interviewed, 74,000 pieces of evidence, documents, text messages, emails, etc. The responsible thing for Governor Cuomo to do is to resign. We cannot continue to say to women that we believe you. And we can't say to Black women that we stand with you. If when a Black woman who's Attorney General produces a detailed report indicating not only sexual harassment, not only breaking of the law, not only a toxic workplace, not only retaliation, and not only consistent denials, we can't say we believe when we stand with Black women if you will ignore the facts. And if Governor Cuomo does not have the decency to resign, then it is our hope that we will see the state assembly move forward with an impeachment, which we heard on today, Laverne, that Speaker Hasty indicated that there is no longer confidence from the state assembly and that they will move expeditiously to get the information from Attorney General James to be able to move forward with the process of impeachment.
Michael, I need you to give us some real perspective. You and the governor do have ties. He endorsed you during your bid for DNC vice chair. Did you ever witness any of this inappropriate behavior?
Yes, and the reality and beyond it, to the question around toxic environment as well. You know, I have shared with others on many occasions, and if people are honest and transparent, they'll acknowledge this to be the case. The retaliation that would occur for you speaking your mind was continual. This is not a surprise by anyone. For any of us who were there as Raise the Age was being negotiated, and we finally voted on the budget process, we actually had to stop the procedure because the governor was upset that we were not calling for more to go further. When we talk about the toxic environment, I was once told by him that I should be grateful that he drank his coffee that day, because otherwise he would say what's really on his mind, because I disagreed with him. As it relates to the instances, obviously I was not present for the instances that are being mentioned here. But we do have to be very clear about this, Laverne. At the end of the day, we are now realizing emphatically that you had 11 women who their reports have been corroborated, that detailed account has been provided, that there has not only been the understanding of current, but also former staffers to the governor who tried to cover this up and retaliate against these women. At the end of the day, no person, no man, no woman at all should be serving in office with this kind of behavior. Period, point blank, end of sentence.
Do you think he will be able to come back from this?
I would hope not. And I would hope that there would be a grace in this right now. Look, you don't want to impact someone's personal livelihood. At the end of the day, everyone are individuals in terms of where they go from here. But let's also be clear. The livelihood of these women have been destroyed, have been impacted, have been altered. And they came forward with an understanding of what was at stake by them doing this. And so at the end of the day, the responsible path is for Governor Cuomo to resign and to avoid the painful process of what will occur, because this is not something that's going to happen overnight. We want everyone to understand this. It's going to take time for the documents to get over to the Assembly Investigations Committee that are leading this effort, and to Speaker Hasty and to Chair Levine, for them to then complete that process, to then draw up the articles of impeachment, to then go through the hearing, and then have a final removal that will happen from the Senate side. As we remember what happened with President Trump, that too did not take a day or two or a few. And so for us, for the good of New York State and for the good of the country, it would be responsible for the governor to resign. Lastly, Laverne, it is important for us to also not forget that it's not just what's happening here and the heinous behavior as it relates to women, but the governor is still under investigation as it relates to nursing homes. And did they lie about the data on deaths of New Yorkers? Still being investigated as it relates to what happened around the book deal. And did he direct his staff to determine to work on a book in the middle of the pandemic? At the end of the day, we do not have time for this. We have to move forward. New York is still hurting. We are trying to recover. And if we really want to send a message to the country, we want to send a message to women, we want to send a message to the people, then Andrew Cuomo should do the right thing and resign from office.
Michael, thank you so much. We appreciate those words. Thank you for being so candid with us. Appreciate your time, Michael Blake, CEO of Atlas Group and former New York State Assemblyman. Take care.